centralized meta, so it's going to be the Yuumi with it.
Oh, God.
Okay, well.
Wait, does that mean that Yuumi also, like, bounces, like, skates through walls, like, forever?
Yes.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. They needed physical damage, right? And yes, Jax is a bit of a hybrid, but still is able to wreck people's faces with physical damage from his lamppost. So I'm excited to see how this one is going to go. Buy a whole bunch of magic resist items and have a pretty good time, I guess, is theoretically how things are going to go for T1. But it just gets to go like extendo lamppost.
Yep.
I'm into it.
He's very annoying to deal with in the late game, and
ooh, counter gang timing pretty nice here from Ono, but Faker might have been baited in, has to flash to get himself out of the way. The Death Ray just barely not getting there, and now OnFleek's the one in trouble. The flash forward from Ono, he's committing to this one, as Faker may have overextended. Karras gets the first blood, and now Ono is looking to try and make the trade better here for T1. Does manage to safeguard his way over. It's a great position on the gravity field, but it does not matter. He's just going to have to crab brave his way to the death chamber, and that will be the double for Ono. All of this raw mechanics that T1 are bringing to all of these lanes. And now we're looking for a bit of a collapse. OnFleek is in position, but I don't know whether he's quite going to be enough here. And you can see T1, they still want this, even though it is 2 versus 3 instead of the 1 versus 3 that they were thinking. As in goes Ona. Will have to get himself out as the counter-strike is not going to be enough. Leap Strike is going to do it for Dudu. And immediately things go wrong.
Yeah, this is really difficult to execute a dive against a Jax. Part of the reason, again, why he's picked up here on this top side. Karras is going to be able to grab a plate down here as well during the interim.
As far as how this game is sitting right now, 2-2, very even on gold, is now Dudu. Counter-Strike going to get the stun, but Zeus throwing out the needlework. This is looking like a solo kill in the making. As Dudu, can he actually get out of the way? While with bottom lane, I guess there's a gank happening as Samdi immediately is going to ult. OnFleek picks up the kill. Nice W from Samdi as well to try and get a bit of extra damage. Shield comes out, flash forward from Samdi, but he's not able to finish off the kill on the Lee Sin. And somehow, the Jax survived.
Not really in this case. Like, Ryze has kind of, weirdly enough, become this tempo-based champion right now with tanky items where he gets ahead early and then helps his laners succeed rather than being the carry himself later on. Because they're going to make that Realm Warp play.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This time, the needles are going to connect. Faker flashing forward. They're looking to really punish this guy as the... Okay, yeah, we're not going to quite find that Q from Ona, but he is able to at least help lock down the Jax. As meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, Harmalife Esports are getting some plates and making things happen. T1 should be able to take this turret, though. Wave in a fantastic position for that. So, yeah, I remember that build was actually pretty nutty. Anyway, back to the correct video game here is T1 actually starting to get aggressive. There's the flash forward from Faker. Samdi's going to actually get kicked back this time. Immediately gets traded for Faker's life. Is now OnFleek trying to get out of there. Owner says no, but just barely enough with the needlework is going to lock down OnFleek. Now Zeus taking a bit of damage here as Ona gets underneath the turret looking for Karras. He gets a big old shield on the Q, misses, and now Dudu is tidying up the fight. That's a massive lamppost to the face, and that's an ace for Harmalife Esports.
And this is a massive turning point in this game because now you've given Dudu the ability to absolutely rule this game. Karras gets an extra kill, he survives there with that missing Q. And Harmalife Esports setting up right now for a Baron start, and they have all division removed, and they have so much great turn. Like, do not underestimate how easy it is for Harmalife Esports to actually control these chokes with the Victor, with the Counter-Strike play potential. Like, T1, you're late on this one.
Yeah.
You got to do something, though.
Realm Warp is going to come in, so there is going to be an opportunity to fight this one, but it is going to be the Jax that locks down the Baron. And now Owner is just caught with absolutely nowhere to go. Now OnFleek looking for even more. It might be a sacrifice of his life, though, as Dudu dives on top of Gumayushi. One more auto is going to do it. The exhaust is fantastic onto Faker to lock down the last remaining source of consistent damage on this team. And I guess AS was there, but he didn't last too long either, and that is absolutely massive damage from this Jax. Well, it looks like the Baron's not going to last too long, so don't put a plaque on him at this point in time.
Look at all
that
the
one's going to get taken down very quickly. Yeah, exactly. There's so much vision, and I think that Hanwha will be looking for a turn. They do. They look for Owner here as the final chapter comes down. He's going to get stopped, but that's a big old shield. Dudu has to use his stopwatch relatively early in this one as the needlework's doing so much work. Ult from Samdi comes out, and now he's going to have to flash himself out of the way, and it's now Gumayushi that's doing the damage. Realm Warp to try and let them escape as now Karras may have overextended, immediately gets kicked back. And Owner is massive, but it could be another pentakill for Zeri here. That's the triple as Guma's going to go down for the another Quadra.
This is what happens with this champion. Teleport to end it. That's an ace. That's the game. Hanwha life.
I don't think we're going to see Zeri again, ladies and gentlemen. I think this champion's a little bit strong. I don't know. The Nexus is going to fall down, and Hanwha Life Esports, they do it again. They upset T1 in game 1.
There you go. And that one gets 100-0. Whoever they choose, whoever they can get on top of, just gets blown up. And it's really, really awesome because Syndra just presses R and it's like, goodbye. It's a 5v4 fight now.
In chat is probably not going to be there for this particular series. I think it's definitely working out much, much better. Not going to make it in time, though.
Nope.
As Faker dealing with a minion wave that is equalizing. But Karras taking a bit of damage here. Zeus, speaking of damage, going to take Dudu down to 200 as he presses Q and is going to be somewhat alright. Ona dives on over, looking for on-fleek. I believe Flag and Drag should be available as he safeguards in. Yep, Flag and Drag to come on through. Q is not going to connect onto on-fleek as he gets himself the shield, and Ona is going to continue putting on pressure. Not going to be able to kill the enemy jungler, however, is going to be able to push him away and steal away his jungle as well.
And this makes it really hard for Dudu to now farm this wave. Going to be a lot of harassment coming through, and On-Fleek's health bar is just so low. Before Dudu hits 6, he's always vulnerable to stuff like this.
Yeah, we're going for the dive here, and you can see On-Fleek moving back around. Does have his cooldowns back available yet again, as Dudu has pressed his ghost button. Now Zeus in a bit of trouble. They're fighting minions at the same time. There's the flashback! Absolutely beautiful for On-Fleek, as now Ona is able to tidy this one up, but Dudu should be able to get there, and he does it. It's a double kill once again. What did Dudu have for breakfast?
Dudu's playing a fantastic series of League of Legends here. Will not even lose very many of these minions here. Is even going to take a CS lead here with Zeus. On-Fleek's here.
Yeah, acceleration gate goes down. On-Fleek looking for his opportunity. Remember, there is no flash. He just walks towards him, and that is going to be an easy kill. Ona in position. The Q's going to be picked up there by Dudu as they look to turn it around. That was so beautifully done by Dudu, identifying that, yeah, he's got ult. I think he was going to be able to do much. Unless he gets like a kick flash under a turret.
The reason why On-Fleek stays up there is because of Zeus' positioning in the lane, and he's like, oh no, he's trying to bait out the R, and you know, he's going to look for the ult. Speaking of baiting, Faker plays that so well. We're still going down here. This is where you can find value as T1. This is the lane you need to be in.
Yeah.
Now you're going to deny CS for this Aphelios and get more plates.
Karras did get ignited there by Faker, as Ona is going to flash, gets the mini stun into the wall there. As Sandi throws down the ult, but isn't going to be able to do enough as Vista has to flash. The zap even comes through. Super Mega Death Rocket finishes it off. Faker also extraordinarily low underneath this turret, but that is 2 kills on the bottom side. T1 striking back.
And the crazy part about this too, and why it's so good for T1, is Dudu, hold that thought.
There's the flash forward from On-Fleek, finds the knock up onto Faker, and that is all too easy. The Unleash Power, the gameplay button, and Karras is going to lock down that kill, and now Dragon Control should be over to Hanwha Life Esports as Guma takes another couple of plates in on the top side of the map.
The positioning here for Keria is so good too because he's kind of covering the angles here. On-Fleek is going to roam up. Instead of taking the free plates for the Syndra, because she has such great control, they really want to turn this into a massive turn on the top side. So greedy.
Well, Abyssal Dive going to go forward here as Gumayushi trying to keep himself alive. Moonlight Vigil is going to catch him, though, as On-Fleek looks for his opportunity. Flame Chompers, they've come in, though, and On-Fleek's going to turn around. Keria is going to get stunned. They knew that Faker was coming up. Ona as well walked over Vision as another Abyssal Dive comes through, and oh, dear. Ona looks to kick out the Jarvan and locks down that kill for Gumayushi. Great devour there from Keria as well. Will save Ona's life, and T1 turn it so nicely.
This was an extremely high-risk play. They're not done yet.
Yeah, Keria flashing forward. Vista's going to put him on a leash as over goes Faker, locks down the kill on the Aphelios. He might sacrifice himself, but no, he's able to run this one out. Faker even has a Gale Force of his own as the bubble is going to connect. They lock down the turret as well. Flag and Drag, nice buffer there from On-Fleek, keeps him alive. Still, they lose the inner turret, and T1 are being super oppressive. Ona looks for his opportunity. There it is! Safeguard, kick flash, and Karras kicked into the team. However, he is able to throw down his ultimate. Good ignite there from Keria. Will end up locking down the kill, but look at the AoE from that Super Mega Death Rocket. My God!
The bottom side was free for the taking, and then they pivoted bottom side and then ran away with the game very quickly.
Well, that is going to be a free stun onto Faker. Ulti comes through. Good exhaust, though. As the Dark Sphere comes down, Dudu still wants this and is going to flash for it in the end. Doesn't have to invest the ult, but does have a big cooldown now to worry about. And they got a kill onto Faker. It's like, congrats.
Yep, Owner is prepping the mid wave for 2 inhibitors to go down off of this.
Oh my god. Even the zap connects. If Super Mega Death Rocket was still available, that's, yeah, Dudu having to ult. Now, Sandy with red-white guns, but he's so weak, he's so far behind that the years are just not that scary, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really big bot diff game here.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have that on top of Owner starting to give some resources down there, and Jinx just wins this one by default at this stage. But it was played so well.
It certainly was. T1 really identifying their win conditions so beautifully this game. There's now one more Nexus turret between T1 and Game 3. On Fleet going for that last-ditch engage, but he's just going to pop. Sandy picked off. Oh, man, it's like they're in the grocery store and they decided to pick up some Aphelios here today. And they did manage to do it. Dudu now wants an opportunity to fight back, but unfortunately the ult does not last long enough. Carrier decides to have a party in the fountain, and he may as well, as the Nexus is now going to be the option. Gumayusi just trying to kite as best he can. Good little stun there from Karis, but Super Mega Death Rocket will grab one last kill for Gumayusi. As well.
I want to say I think that Hanwha Life Esports navigated this a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
The early game for the Gwen is not going to be a fun time, but the bot lane should be controlled. And if they mess up the bottom side again...
Back and absorbing pressure rather than exerting it. And that is not what this T1 team does, right? It's the bottom lane that is a pressure point. Yeah.
In this bottom lane.
And that's with equalizing waves as well. So really nicely done from T1. As Vista taken down to about half health, slowed, but isn't going to get knocked up as there's the flash, but Vista, that's just, you're never going to be safe there, and that's first blood going to T1. Owner picks it up, and the bottom lane is going to benefit.
Oh, yeah, and here we go. Suddenly the Caitlyn lane is losing out to Gumayusi Carrier with a really nice gank from Owner here. And it was played so well there because there's not much you can do. Unfortunately, as you mentioned for Vista, like you have to move away from this huge voyage to the right side there, which makes him vulnerable as Dudu.
Yeah, he's in the mist as the needlework's coming out. He wants to try and find this. The ghost has been popped as now Zeus, oh, doesn't find the shock blast that would have been the solo kill, and instead Dudu picks it up. Well, he does have a blast going to make his way in if he wants to, as Owner dives forward, finds the ulti to split up this fight, but it's a good double knock-up, and immediately Karis able to help out. It was a bit of a sombrero, but otherwise not too much to worry about as the double kill comes forward for On Fleek. Carrier now diving onto Vista. Once again, he avoids the knock-up, and Carrier with the Devourer available, but is he able to save the Xin Zhao? The answer is absolutely, as he gets a gigantic shield and is able to walk that one out. But it is still a big win for Hanwha Life Esports as Faker goes down.
Yeah, and they will be able to easily reset, and it's a solo Rift Herald play here for Hanwha Life Esports. So they get to also put the Caitlyn back into the bottom lane. Well, I say solo. Dudu's on his way up. He's going to help out. But it's not a heavy commitment now that you need this Hanwha Life Esports. You can put the Caitlyn back. Carrier comes over here, checks this out. Nothing to see here. And now Caitlyn's pushing a bot wave.
Only need to say, right? Because Caitlyn in a lane like this should be doing absolutely fine as Dudu going to get smacked back there as the needlework slows down Zeus and he has to flash. Dudu looks for another one but doesn't quite get it. And Shock Blast once again goes wide, but Zeus to jockey for position around this as Hanwha Life take this as an opportunity to try and get the last bit of health on this outer turret. They're not quite able to do so as Dudu has rotated down. Gumayusi still walking from base.
Yeah, he's taken a long time to get down here, but Hanwha Life Esports really being a little bit wishy-washy on how they want to do this.
Yeah, he does have himself an orb, as now Owner could be in trouble. Gravity field goes down, and that is going to be Shirley diving into the turret, but it's On Fleek trying to get out, and Gumayushi's here in the nick of time to grab that kill. Good shockwave is going to connect onto Faker, and he'll go down for the 1-for-1 right now. As, oh dear, Zeus caught out of position, snipped up there by Dudu as well, as now Owner's trying to run himself out as Karis goes golden at the perfect time, and Dudu helps grab yet another kill for Harmful Life, and they should be able to grab themselves a dragon as well, as Carrier just voyages his way out.
Yeah, a lot of tools used early in the team fight here for T1, hoping that it was going to lead to bigger successes.
All right, goodbye.
Gale forces up, and he's going to grab a kill there.
And look, we're going to need a chiropractor for Gumayusi after this game. If it's a T1 win, no one puts him on a leash.
No.
We'll walk this one out. It's T1. Can they defend? This tower is very, very low. Faker over to the side. That's a great knock-up as the Shockwave is going to connect, but only onto Carrier. He eats the gray health and is going to fall down, but now the Chaos Storm as Faker flashes on in. Karras is not going to survive this one. OnFleek doing his best to try and do the same, as the curtains have been called. OnFleek, will he have another flag and drag is kind of the question here, as we've traded 1-for-1 so far. As that was a very strange interaction, but that's fine. Deathray is going to connect, and Faker makes the trade better for T1.
Faker is going to make it a better trade for them. That was such a great crescent guard from Owner there to split the fight in half, grab those 2 kills. Better trade, as you mentioned. Carrier's heroics as well. Keep Gumayusi in the fight and alive. Doesn't even have to flash. So they're just going to try to put his health low here, force it to lay back with this ultimate. Because as it stands right now, T1 are really feeling very good about how things could have been.
Well, OnFleek going to dive forward. Owner, Wind becomes lightning, is now Dudu fighting Zayas and losing. Just gets solo killed by the late game chase. Not something I was expecting to say, as the orb comes in, slows down Owner with the dissonance. There's now Faker lying in wait. The Cataclysm is going to be used as the Shockwave pulls him back, and OnFleek is going to survive. But now, 1 member dead, Baron up in 35 seconds.
They have this choke point controlled with a Victor, mind you.
And T1 immediately going to start this Baron. They haven't peeled off it just yet. The teleport coming in for Dudu. Gets him immediately over there. The flag comes in. OnFleek, can you find the smite is the question. The Baron's down to 50-50. It's going to be secured by Owner, but can they win the fight is the question. Carrier gets the Devour off, and now Owner back in once again. The Orianna grabs the first kill, but the Caitlyn is already dead. The bottom lane has been dealt with, and now it's Dudu that has the damage. Karras there to try and support him. 4 versus 3. The Baron on T1. They win this fight.
Yeah, Baron on them, and there's no way Hanwha Life Esports can continue to chase here into all of that damage. Even with Faker down at 0 mana, basically, you don't want to actually go for this chase anymore.
I feel like we say that about kind of every champion that he plays, but this time I think he's going to get the pot. I don't know. You reckon?
Feeling that way.
Yeah,
dude. At that moment.
He's immune. So he's going to be all right as OnFleek looking for his opportunity. Dives towards Faker, doesn't get the knock-up, and I think OnFleek's just dead. He does get a Cataclysm, but that was heading towards the grave. And now, without a jungler, they are not getting this soul. That is absolutely a fact.
And this is not an issue of Hanwha Life Esports' comp.
Oh, Shockwave connects. Carrier could get punished. That's a really long tongue. And he will keep himself alive. Curtains have been called as Vista in so much trouble. Dudu able to dash in front, but man, that last bullet almost taken down this Gwen. And as these oceans start to stack up over and over again, the T1 poke, the T1 siege is just going to get more and more powerful. So Hanwha Life Esports need to try and actually get towards that soul, really start to threaten. Because it feels like ever since they took that 3rd dragon and the Baron, Hanwha Life have looked lost around this map.
The Baron especially was the big turning point. Is
Gumayusi, going to have to get devoured. And Carrier's going to walk this one out. Owner now finds himself in the company of 4 members. Make that 5, as they try and get the kill to Sandi, and he's able to pick that one up. So, OnFleek throws himself into T1, and then Owner's like, haha, I can do it better, and throws himself into Hanwha Life Esports. Okay, Hanwha Life Esports now all put together. I really like this fan from T1, able to get that poke out, and not providing one target to get engaged on. This Carrier takes a little bit there from the dissonance.
Ooh, the positioning here for Karras is so good, though. Gumayusi and crew are going to have to back off, and they're like, all right, we're going to trade this for the Baron and try to control the map. This could be a wrong call, though, for T1, as Vista and crew are heading over here, and T1, they're really just trying to rush this down. They might end up being a 50-50 on this. They might lose both.
They should be able to get this. As the teleport immediately comes in. Okay, that is going to be the Baron secured, and the Shockwave does absolutely nothing. Owner now splits up this fight as best he can, as Carrier finds himself on the wrong side of the fight. Dudu goes golden. Faker is out of there immediately, but not before taking down OnFleek on his way out. Well, there is a inhibitor that's respawning in 9 seconds time, so no more super creeps are making their way up the waves, as that's a decent stun there onto Onfleek, who decides to go in. That could actually be the end here, as Ona does it as well, but he's able to get himself out of the way. Does so nicely, as that's a great devour, but has Kerry actually saved Faker? He gets a huge shield as Dudu goes golden, and now Ona looks for the re-engage. The curtains have been called. It's a 1-for-1, but Gwen for Tahm Kench, you will definitely take that if you're T1, as now the fight continuing and the double kill for Owner in the end. That is going to be that, as T1 find the team fight early and they will finish off this game.
And that's definitely going to be a vote in the carrier call on this one.
You can write it down right now.
We can write it down, because that is so many saves he's had this game, including on Faker in the end, which is the most critical one to end the game. Things look shaky in the start of that engage. Things look shaky at the start of that engage, but T1 are able to win it in the end.
Oh man, that was definitely a slow burn. But
Better team might punish you for that.
Pretty surprised that Faker did so much damage to champions this game when he did have such a slow earlier stage, but just shows the power of Victor in the late game, and that Chaos Storm really getting a lot of value. His gravity fields as well.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season, joined by T1's bottom duo, Gumayusi and Keria, for the POG interview. Congratulations! T1 is still undefeated here in the LCK Spring Split. You are 7-0 so far. Keria, how do you feel? Well, I actually had a 6-match winning streak, but it ended there. So I'm happy that I actually made it to 7 this time around. And Gumayusi, this is your 5th POG of the split. How do you feel? I think I did kind of deserve it. Feels great. Gumayusi always super confident for the POG interview. And Gumayusi, you are playing against Samdi. You know, there was some rivalry happening since the Academy series in the LCK, so tell us about your friendship. I think Samdi is really good. He scales really well. His laning phase is also decent. So if he works harder, he can be me, you know. That's my thought. So you said you were first in the academy, whereas Samdi was second. Do you still think that you are on the first place compared to Samdi? Yeah, of course. And Keria. T1 actually hovered Zeri, however decided to lock in Karma instead, so the opponents were able to lock in Zeri and Yumi together. Did you see that coming? Yes, we had a lot of practice against that bot lane comp. But the opponents in Screams weren't that good at that comp, but Zeri is pretty strong, so we decided to, you know, just remove that. Yeah, just like you said, T1 decided to ban it away after game number 1. Do you think Zeri is a powerful pick right now? Yes, pretty much. And also, as long as we can also get the chance, we will also be able to show our own Zeri. Keria, you had back-to-back Tahm Kench game and you were able to pick up wins after wins. So why are teams and players actually favorite Tahm Kench in the current meta? How do you rate this champion? I think support picks, you know, doesn't really get affected by the meta a lot. It actually depends on the given situation and surroundings. So whenever you see the angle, you can actually just play Tahm Kench. It's not about the meta that fits Tahm Kench so well. It was just the right kind of situation for us to play Tahm Kench as support. And Gumayusi, after losing game number 1, T1 came back so stronger, especially playing around the bottom side of the map. You guys were able to have priority and just finish the game there. We just said after game number 1, we were like, Jerry is so irritating. So we decided to, you know, focus up for game 2 because I was a little bit mad. And Keria, I heard you are the main shot caller of T1 these days. So were your, you know, shot calls coming in clutch to turn the series around? Actually, all 5 players have to, you know, play well in order to get the win. So I think we all did a great job. And then Gumayusi. In game number 2, the T1's bottom duo actually had about 4,000 gold lead against Hana Life's Aphelios. How were you able to kind of outplay the opponents that much? I think Jinx is a brilliant champion to actually, play on the line, with the range advantage. So I was able to win by a huge margin during the laning phase. I also want to ask you about game number 3, especially about the picks. Caitlyn is having a huge favor in the LCK. She was 6-1 in that matchup, and then LCK was not having a great success on Jhin. He was sitting on about 30% win rate. Actually, our game 3 bottom duo was something we prepared in order to play against Caitlyn. I think it worked so well. However, game 3 was very close. It was a neck-and-neck game between T1 and Hana Life Esports. So when was the moment that you were confident to win the game? Well, never, but I thought if we can keep making good decisions in every moment, we will be able to close out the game. In the previous interview, we heard that you were unhappy that you were not getting enough POGs. What about today? I didn't expect to win POG today. Oh, no, I canceled that. I think I did. I think that I deserve the POG. Your next opponent will be Genji. This is gonna be the match of the week number 4. A lot of fans are waiting for that match to finally come. So what's your mindset heading into that series? Just like the Tom and Kia series before, I hope we can have a good match. And also, we're going to get Genji, and we're going to beat KT as well, and finish first round robin undefeated. What about you, Keria? Same. I hope to continue this winning streak, and I hope we can have a great series. And this will be the end of the interview from Keria Gumayusi from T1, and I'm going to pass it back to Valdes and Chronicler. Thank you.